we did it. Hello. Welcome to another daily energetic update. I told you guys July I'm not going to leave you the fuck alone. Because why would I do that? Why would I do that? Why would I actually do that? Okay. Anyways, but I just came on here, I just got out of the shower. I'm feeling fucking fresh and renewed. But it was funny because what prompted me to get in the shower was oh, I'm going to do the message now. And then as a spiritual practitioner, she was bitch, the fucking energy is moving so fast right now that don't trust these fucking readers who don't fucking get up and take a fucking bath ski between shit or whatever, because I couldn't have given you guys the same I literally had to just take a spiritual cleanse just because I couldn't give you the same frequency even if I wanted to get the energy for right now. So I'm just sorry, I'm clearing up and organizing my cards. I have so many major things to say. I think a lot of what is going to come out in the cards today is going to have a lot to do with this conversation about I really wanted to let you all know that the astrology community, the cosmological community, right? All of the folks who really navigate and map the stars for real and continue to contribute to that sacred practice have really it's not a joke that people are saying how majorly reset the energy is, right? Look beyond the fucking false falling religion fraudulent bullshit that's trying to tell you that it's all just about the collapse, a collapse. I mean, the change in and of itself is just letting you know that this is cosmologically the time for a complete overhaul. And the one thing I was feeling so called to really stand in is this lifetime for all of us. It doesn't even matter whether you're on a spiritual path particularly or not. Whether this isn't even just a Tethered Studios thing. This is the collective right now. If you incarnated at this time on the planet, in the planet's evolution, one thing that you're going to realize very, very quickly is that this is the lifetime where you have to do a lot of soul retrieval. So things that have happened across every timeline, every lifetime that you've ever lived, they're going to populate at this time. And they're going to also give you an opportunity to rectify. This is definitely the lifetime for everyone, not just oppressed populations, because we've all been in every type of body. We've all been all the fucking races, all the fucking genders. You've experienced it, right? And so every time they just keep re-indoctrinating you and you come down here with more and more bigotry and more fucking boxes and definitions and limits. But you really have perspective, right? Men aren't really, they're not programmed to be misogynistic because you've been a fucking woman before. You've been in the opposite fucking sex's body. You've experienced the whole spectrum, we all really do. So how do they keep that knowledge from a collective stance? How do they keep that from rising up the gods and monsters that are actually on this planet right now? How are they going to navigate that? Well, they're going to all they can do is really control your concept of that, control your empathy. Again, starving the water. The fucking first attack spiritually that these people were going to do was they were going to make sure certain regions never actually had access to fresh, pure water, right? And water also is, like I said, symbolic of spirit, right? Emotion, right? Intuition. So when we starve and gouge out certain populations of people that we're gonna overpopulate because we're gonna rape their channels and their vessels. Then we're gonna make sure that all that overpopulation doesn't have access to the one resource that they need, water, that they are literally made 70% of. And so then we have this population that is now they've just suppressed empathy, right? They've suppressed the empathetic aspect of themselves. That's I remember being a masculine, right? Because right now people can only hold the rage of their identity's oppression. So you got a lot of feminists that are fuck men, but it's babe, you were a man once. In fact, you were probably a man directly in a fucking past life. That's why the karma was to incarnate and get the perspective of the femininity that you live out now. So that's why you're here in this fucking female ass body, right? There's all this shit that comes on when you guys start understanding where I've been at, where all your Aquarian bitches have been at. But the Aquarian age is about to fuck y'all up, because I think I just, I said, I wanted to come on here and really reiterate how it's okay that it feels every single for it to really truly feel nothing is the same, there is no fragment, not on some pandemic shit. It's way bigger than that. It's everything is there is no code. I keep speaking that. It's there's no code, meaning there's no original how we do this, right? Because everything that we do and how we do everything pretty much as it stands is a derivative of a manipulation of the right. When separation consciousness started to fight the creator, right? When that mutation really started as a conglomerate energy source tried to fight the creator to spread this propaganda that we were cut off at some point, that God was I'm punishing you bitches and you're left, you're stuck here. That was never fucking happening. Never. Genuinely never fucking happening ever. And so because we've been spreading the propaganda of separation, right? That like God left you here on this planet, haha, bitch. Like, it's like, because people actually feel fucking deeply betrayed by their source, we've been able to control the population for millennia, you know? And so we're talking like such a bigger cycle, right? We're coming into the golden age of Aquarius, right? So when we're talking about a whole new fucking age, it just comes with a whole new fucking situation altogether. Because I believe Pisces was hoarding the water. No shade. Age of Pisces, Pisces was like keeping the water for themselves. No shade, no shade. But what the fuck was up with that, Pisces? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So anyways, so kind of the message that I was getting. But yeah, anyways, I had to come and just kind of like give renewed energy. I kind of had to give a different look and a different vibe because I'm becoming like, there's just like again, I told you, like, I'm like changing every day. Like, I'm not like, it's like not even anything particular. Like right now, like, you know, Texas is dumpiana. Matter of fact, I told you guys God is bringing new water to the earth, and let me show you how I woke up today. Hey, sexy bitch. Damn, you was sexy. Okay, let me show you what the fuck type of time we're on in Texas right now. You can't even see this shit, bro. You see this shit? Anyways, we've got we've been on flood watch, like people are dying right now. Type shit on certain grids in this motherfucking state right now, which is lit. I love it when bitches die. I'm just kidding. What? I'm kidding. Chill out, bro. Chill out. No, but that's like the frequency that we're like definitely on. Right? Okay. Right? Okay. There we go. Perfect. So I told you guys, I said God got us some fresh water because there is nothing better than the fucking rain, because the rain can oftentimes floods oftentimes are like can be new water, you know, water that we really fucking deeply and desperately fucking needed. Okay, so I'm enjoying my vibe, but yeah, like I said, I just kind of had to be like in the image of the I could feel the water. I was like, I need to be in the water. So I went and took, you know, a proper shower, so I'm able to give you the actual frequency of the message. So anyways, let's just get right into the messages. Let's just like read the spread. Yeah, we're gonna use the Aquarian Tarot. You know how I do over here. How are we doing? I hope we're doing good. Last night's energy was fucking crazy. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know you guys are seeing like a spectrum, but I'm like actually also the science behind my like spiritual messaging. Whenever I share that artwork, is always a derivative of like I use my body as the example. Like what, like your last night's reading was definitely this morning's reading was definitely giving Uranus and Gemini. Like you can definitely see the fucking schizophrenic like you know, like the fucking frequency. And so I'm just like, I also like embody the cosmos, and that's like something that I also think is really important when I like, you know, I'm on my holy couch and I'm trying to really get people to ground right back down to the reality of like what the you're the antenna, right? You're the signal that the code was coming to. So we're retrieving the signal. It has to come through some sense of embodiment. And so anyways, there's so much embedded in these messages. There's so much magic. That's why they're so like warm hug, because they're doing a lot more than you think. Very similar to like Dolphin Boy Records. Like those albums are architectural, right? They're kind of really just like his art. It's like how he paints, you know, in the world. And so it's a very different listening experience, because it's not what the old world structure. It's not even like music to entertain you to. It's like music to fucking do something to. And I just think that a lot of that is in like it's like locked in, it's like coded, it's like inside the box, like, right, like, you know, it's like it's in the programming of it. And so in the programming of these messages, there's so much that I think, you know, if you go back over time, you'll be like, wow, she really like embodied the frequency. But I couldn't not be recording right now. Like there's literal flooding happening. As I was telling you bitches, I was like, God's about to give us some fucking new water, say thank you God. And then God's like, new water. An area subject to flooding or under an evacuation order. Like that's the emergency alert that just came in right now. Literally right now. And you see the propaganda. You're gonna die. Like, oh my god, relax. It's fucking water, bitch. Get your bathing suit and hit a lab. See. Anyways, I saw King of Swords, Page of Swords. Somebody's like ready to talk about the truth. Calmly. Okay, so you get it now. Okay, so you get it. Okay, so you're not gonna be freaked out. Okay, cool. Anyways. I'm there. I'm online. Like I told you guys, I'm just a guyski. You know, I'm trying my best. Holy shit ski. Okay. Interesting. Like I said, Spirit told me to just read what the fuck is there. So it's super interesting. The first thing, the immediate messaging, 6 of Swords, 5 of Swords, right? And I think that, I think Spirit, it's obvious. that has to be like, so okay, so we are now in the new paradigm of the individual. Welcome to the age of the Aquarian, right? 9 of Pentacles, that's at the bottom of our deck, right? So our central reading has to do with all of you are now fully sourcing your own shit, right? So because of that, there's like this huge accountability that's like, well, you're sourcing your shit. So if you are in, so which world you're in right now, up to you. And it would be up to like what your sovereignty and where you're pulling from. Because remember how I told you? So it's like, right now, what I would say is also happening in terms of like people who are going to get stuck in the 3rd dimension by like subconscious choice, and then like people who are going to be like stuck in the, or who are ascending into the 5th dimension. Essentially, the difference between like the whole propaganda of like the Matrix really stems from getting everybody to outsource to this one water source, of which they're going to pollute, throw their trash in, shit, fart in, desecrate, right? We talked about the fucking lagoon. So they're gonna do all this shit in the fucking lagoon ski, and they want you to think there's one lagoon that we all should be pulling from, right? Let's call that shit pinata. It's kind of like the iteration of the internet, right? Like it's kind of like the iteration, right? When we talk the Aquarian wave, like the wave of the internet is like what they really want you to buy into, right? So the way that you can healthfully interact online is like you should be on the internet, but you should be sourcing from your water cell. And one of the things I always promote on Tethered Studios is like, bruh, you always have another option. There's always option E, which is like none of that fuck shit that you do. Like you just gave me 4 options. I'm gonna say none of the above. And the none of the above is opting in for sourcing it yourself, meaning like I can also pull from my own internal waters. Now, there have been so many droughts happening in so many people's vessels because so many people have been withheld from the spiritual water and also like literally the physical water. We can talk about it. And so at this time, the opening message that I want to say is like your sovereignty, right? Because whether you even like, I don't want people to think that it's like the sourcing journey is like something you opt into or not. It is, in order, like sourcing your own life is something you have to like actively participate in. But we are at the age of the Aquarian in general says like, whether you're conscious or not, whatever is happening in your life is coming from like how well you're sourcing your shit. No, sir. Wait, he just wanted to say, hey, can you sit in my lap? Can you sit? Can you sit? Okay. Yeah, you can be a part of it. Just don't do the fucking thing you do when you come and bend up on my fucking cards. You know, I only got like fucking 2 decks. Fucking predator. Anyways, okay. So again, so when we're talking about being the individual who's sourcing your own life, so again, there's the splitting of the worlds. Like there's 2 types of energies that you're gonna hear people being in. There, the flash flood warning that you just got, that was like, take cover. I'm like sitting calm, like we're fine. Like that's not like why the fuck with the Amber Alerts? I don't know, right? But we, you know, the reason you'd be feeling like the warring frequency right now would just be because that big pond that they tell everybody, oh, everybody pull your inspiration, pull your life force from this like big stream that everyone like pours into and contributes to and shits in and decimates and whatever. Yeah, that water source is as good as drinking fucking pure fucking oil. So at this point, like, that's why so many people are tweaking off of it. That's why they're freaking out, because they actually, because when you've been pulling from this fucking pseudo source for so long that's outside of yourself, they can turn it off at any time. And so whenever they fucking want to say like, oh no, the water's gone, like the niggas are gonna be like, whole time like they got a giant lagoon. You know what I mean? So maybe the first thing I need to say at the opening message is you have a giant lagoon. You know what I mean? Like, just for the girlies who are dealing with that right now, if you're dealing with like the weight of the world, baby, you have a lagoon. Like, drop the weight of the fucking world and go swim in your lagoon right now. Fucking turn off the fucking TV, turn off the fucking celly, go stand outside and connect with your own lagoon. Because the guys right now that are able to go on this journey where they surrendered and they're 6 of Swords are the bitches who like, Spirit's like, great, let me take you to your personal lagoon. That's what's happening, right? Because I think we all got initiated all through, like, again, May, June, you know, July. All of this is going to be about you getting like individually sovereign and understanding like, okay, well, I got to be the one doing and making and creating my whole life. Point blank period. Are you okay? Yeah. Okay. And so if you just did that, if you just ascended that consciousness, Spirit, it doesn't matter how, even if you haven't quite yet tapped into like your energy source, Spirit can take you there. So that's kind of the opening message. Is like, this is the splitting of the world, but this is also the splitting of the attitudes. Like, there's 2 very specific spiritual things happening. There's people who are in war and there's people post-war, right? Post-war says like, I've already done that shit. I already know what it's like when I create fake wars, or when I go seek out wars, or when I like look out for the war and I don't actually connect with empathy. Because it's not about war frequencies ever needing to vanish. It's about, the problem actually is that people think the only wars that are happening are over there. People are in their projector right now. They're like, oh my God, there's a war going on outside. Because somebody, I guess your Instagram feed started talking about it, right? And it's like, baby, you actually feel it. Like, you actually have the spiritual ability to feel the war. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, why do you think like the collective goes through waves? Like, why do you think there are days when you wake up and it's like, it seems like everybody's kind of got the same blues, you know? Or, yeah, that's it, right? It's the same thing. Like, bitches are all depressed. We're all the same. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it doesn't matter. Like, so many people we all hide behind the mask, and we add all this static and da-da-da-da, because, like, maybe you're really fucking socially, economically fucking sound, and maybe someone's really poor, right? So maybe we just think like, oh, because of my circumstances or the fucking things that I do, saving me from some sort of suffering. We're all going through the actually exact same experience, right? That's the only reason like a psychic can fucking help, because it's actually unity consciousness that's underneath all this flesh. One vibration, one love, you know? And it's such a huge thing, you know, to awaken to that. Like, oh shit, there's no difference. My barista, you know, me, my boss, my mom, my dog, my cat, the fucking wind. There's no difference. You know, the trees cry for the same depressing shit that we cry over, right? You know, so I really want people to understand right now, whenever they start turning up the clickbait and if you're not worried about war all the time, you know what I mean? Then like, you don't gotta worry about it when they start fucking bringing it on your fucking feed, baby. You don't just drop it, you know? If it's not something you carry like day in and day out, like, cause right, that's where that loose morality is it's just useless, bro. And you're just a fucking annoying person to be around at this point. It's like, you just pick and choose when you want to have morals about some shit. When it's like, really, these are things that you should always be able to revisit and always like actually have a real depth of feeling attached to. Like, I don't just talk about how atrocious like wars are. I connect through that atrocity through my own child suffering. I was fucking raped as a child, so I know what it probably feels like for a child in Gaza right now to be fucking blasted without consent. You want to know why? Because I was fucking blasted without consent. That's the only way you can connect. It's not because I can just like read about it and comprehend it. I will never know what it is like to be in a war-torn, like actually physically violent space, God willing, right? But as of right now, and so the only way that I could empathize is like actually like not projecting like, oh, I've never been through something like that. I just see them going through that. No, bitch, where in your life can you, those intangibles, like have that, where's that taking place? Because I think that's the only way right now that's the only thing that any individual human could affect. And it's only big sweeping changes that can happen when a bunch of individuals awaken, right? It's not like there's not going to be one bill we can all get on board with, because whose life is the fucking same? Whose? Like, in terms of the third dimension, whose shit is the same, right? Like, we can't police all the material shit we have. We can't really be like, you know, that's why people do all this. Like, a lot of times y'all get so offended by fucking, like, the fucking bullshit surface level conversations about like what people choose to do with their life, but you just gotta reduce it down to this. Niggas have different shit on their plate. They have different shit that they manage, right? Some niggas want to vote for certain shit because maybe they have 5 cars and they really just want to reduce that, versus the person who doesn't own a car, they're gonna vote a different way, right? So that's what I'm saying. When they try to give you the propaganda about staying on the surface and thinking about like, let's make sure we show up to vote, let's make sure we show up to fucking do this, let's make sure we fucking, you know, rally in this cause, or let's fucking loot these niggas, whatever the fuck it is that they want, you know, that there's this focus on. The only thing you even have to focus on is like, what the fuck have you been through in your life? When you start actually just going back and looking at your life experience, you can connect to the general themes that are going on, right? Poverty, suffering, child abuse, right? Like those types of darknesses, they've existed in your own life. And and again, like one of the things that I think when you get around me in person that's kind of embarrassing is like, I'm a very well-educated individual. So it's kind of like, the worst thing is like, not even talking about like, oh, there's people who aren't educated. It's like, but you know, it's when you don't have education on the things that you like continually project outward, right? When we talk about people, like again, one of the things that I hate about certain technological advancements is like how they decimated like the broadcast space, because broadcast, like you have to be broadcasting love. You can't just be broadcasting bullshit, right? And so when we have this age of like self-production, right, where it's like you don't have to wait on an industry or someone or something to give you the, like, people just kind of skip the schooling and kind of can just like get to the end result now with technology. Like this phone can, like, I can broadcast. If I had 1 billion fucking followers, I can do that directly right now with my phone. And so when you have that, like, who's gonna fucking take broadcasting, like the vetting out, like how like in integrity you have to be, who's gonna do that? No one, right? So again, it's kind of like, it's giving that right now, but I felt like the need to come on. And you know what's fucking cool is that like, it's not just like July 5th after, you know, certain buzzwords start hitting the headlines that people start talking about stuff, right? Remember fucking in Gemini season when I started talking about it? Remember when I was like crying, screaming for my fucking dad's life back and my mom's life back, and you guys are just looking at me like, what? Yeah. Remember when I was talking about getting evicted and I was like living in my car and suffering, and I was like, you're all gonna be here in like 20 seconds?
welcome to the floods.
It's like fucking crazy niggas. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I was like, when you see someone else's judgment day, baby, it's a judgment day it's an arcana. It's a fucking stage, right? It's the Hierophant's journey, right? So when you get to judgment, we're all gonna get to judgment. So don't ever fucking look at somebody being crucified and being like, look at them being crucified, and then just like intellectualize like basically exploiting what their experience is. Because the only reason I record this is not for fucking clout. It's to let you know this is going to happen to you. So I want you to be prepared for these stages of life that God gifts you so that you can continue to evolve your energetic makeup, right? And so that's the only reason I went through that shit, eviction, fucking rape, whatever the fuck it was, bro. The only reason I went through it is because look who the fuck I am today. Yeah. And if I avoided that shit in a very 2020, see? And some of y'all 2020, you avoided the shit. You did it. You did. But I didn't avoid the shit. And if I had avoided the shit of 2020, you wouldn't be having this fucking sexy piece of chocolate here in 2025. Because I didn't even used to speak about myself that way, bro. I used to think I was a fucking shithole because I was, bro. To be honest with you, shit was horrible. I used to sacrifice animals for fucking funsies. You know what I mean? Y'all be like, I don't do that witchcraft shit, bitch. Y'all be doing fucking blood sacrifice every goddamn day. With that 3-piece tender combo. Every time. I used to be just like you bitches. But mine was like a self-hate, like, you know, like, it's super funny. I just like, this is like a funny random memory that was like really kind of like, what the fuck? Like one of those moments. So my 20th birthday, like my mom, like when we were having like takeout, like my birthday, like little like food dinner at the night, you know, all I really wanted for my 20th birthday was my mom to like tell me stories about like my birth and like me as a child. So one of the things it brought up is like, I was hospitalized twice as a baby for like severe things. And like both of them, something I deal with like a lot is like, I used to get really dehydrated in childhood, obviously because I'm a fucking high priestess. So like I need a lot of water. Like I need a lot of water intake. And so when I was a kid and just like young, like when I was younger, I just like fainting is something that happens, not fainting, but like heat exhaustion happens to me a lot. Kind of the reason like I'm always eating ice, like you don't understand. Also when I sweat, when I work out, you know how when you work out, like people get like hot, like when you're sweating, when I sweat, my body gets ice cold. Ice cold. My brother has it too. It's like a fucking spiritual genetic thing, but I get like ice cold. It's very weird. It's like I'll be dripping sweat, but my body's freezing. And I'm not cold, but my like sweat is like cold. Child of Uranus. Exactly. But before I realized, like before I became an adult and was like in my own care, one of the things my mom was telling me about was just like they wanted me to share this. It was like 20th birthday and she's like, I'm like recording stories, like because I was like, Mom, I just want to record like stories so I can like, hear stories about my like what I was like in birth. But one of the things she was telling me is like one time I got really sick because I was like really dehydrated because like my parents didn't realize like I wasn't eating, like drinking my formula. Like they'd be like leaving it and stuff, like I wasn't drinking it. And so I like started like fainting or something. They know, obviously they take me to the emergency room and they're like, this baby is like, doesn't have any fucking, there's no like water. And this baby's like extremely dehydrated. So my mom was like telling me about how I was like hospitalized for a few days because I was like on IV because I was like dehydrated. And she was like, I didn't realize like you were allergic to like the dairy formula, like the formula. Like, yeah. So been a proper vegan since jit, like just didn't know. Like my body as a child, like my mom was like, you used to like reject dairy, like you used to reject milk, like you rejected like the formula. And so my mom, she never told me this. She was like, oh yeah, we had to like exclusively switch you to like soy formula. And you know what's so funny about when I reclaimed my body and like came back into union with my body, I'm a soy product ass bitch. One of the things, like I eat soy based products is like soy is like, it's like my life. It literally is. You don't even understand. And she was like, as soon as we switch your formula, it's like you guzzled soy, like the soy based formula. And so I was like, so I was a proper vegan the whole time. What the fuck, ski? Why are y'all having me at the fucking barbecue then? You know what I mean? I was like, Mom, but she was like, you used to like, they were like, this baby must have like been protesting. It's like, this baby's not like, it's like rejecting. I was like rejecting, like, whatever. So, anyways, just more information on me that like, it was always what it was, like at a soul level, like even as a baby, because like my parents couldn't take care of me because they're just like coming from the framework they're coming from, trying to, I guess, give the best of their karmic situation that they could give to me. And even as a child, so when I talk about child rights, when I talk about child abuse, like the abuse is like even in like minor things like that, like because parents have no spiritual awareness and they don't know what soul they're about to incarnate with, and they don't connect and like communicate with the child or the feminine womb or the fucking male sperm, like they don't do anything to prepare that seed and that germination to like to communicate with it. Like you can really abuse the fuck out of your child by even just like making them have a diet that like maybe they don't intellectualize as like a bad thing, but it's like bad for them. Because like I'm also vegan because like the other lifestyle, like when I'm not vegan, I don't look like you guys. I know I look super awesome now, but I'm not vegan. I don't look good. Like I used to suffer from extreme like cystic acne because of like fucking eating flesh. Like actually, like my body, like it was bad. Like my weight was horrible. Like it would just be so fluctuating. It wasn't even that I was like particularly one thing, but my weight was just super unstable, which always made like all of my internal cycles very unstable, you know? And so just a lot of shit. I used to have like different issues with like fungal growth. Like there was a lot of signs for me, like on my feet and stuff. Like stuff was crazy. Stuff was crazy for me for a long time. I used to have really bad eczema. All of these are spiritual attacks that were trying to tell my body, like, bruh, you're doing something that you may not register as self-harm because you haven't learned enough about yourself. But once I learned about my spirit is like, you cannot sacrifice a fucking other life. Are you stupid? No holy person can do that. Like nobody with my spiritual, no royal, like spiritually royal, like my shit's ancient, right? My soul is very fucking ancient. So it's like nobody can do that, bitch. Like you can't ask for divine wisdom and knowledge when you're still like sacrificing niggas. Like no. So just some more accountability, some more transparency. That like the thing that you see here is also like done through extreme accountability and like trial and error. So anyways, that's the opening message that I have, that I just kind of feel like is the frequency, right? Like right now, because the people who think there's like a 5 of Swords situation going on, like lose, like we're all like losing, it's like you're projecting. You're projecting. These are people who don't want to do what God's asking them to do. Like, right? With anyone who's talking about something else right now outside of them, that through a disconnected, like if you're just talking about the news, if you're just talking about, because listen, Bitch, I was born a Texas Democrat. Are you stupid? Like, but my politics are rooted. Like, I don't just fucking hate Donald Trump for fucking no fucking reason. I'm gonna talk about where this dynamic's gonna fucking imprison me. Like, I'm gonna go into the trenches of Jim Crow. I'm gonna talk to you guys about Willie Lynch. I'm gonna talk to you about how they fucking hang nooses and shit in the tree. Yeah. Because that's what we're talking about, right? When I talk about my mom's birth certificate, like, why has Texas never made an initiative to reissue birth certificates to people? If you're gonna fucking have bitches labeled as fucking slaves on their shit in the fucking 60s, well, then we might as well fucking update that shit. Like, why didn't y'all fucking send out a courtesy shit and be like, my bad, y'all, we should have never called you a nigger. That's our bad, right? Like, why are we never, nobody's doing that. So I'll talk about the real shit. Y'all want to talk about objective politics, but your politics do affect your real life, and y'all sit up here on the fucking, you know, keyboard, and it's like you're actually just like, you're not even dumb, you're numb, right? That's what I'm saying. I just keep seeing these two swords, which is like, you gotta pick your truth, because I hear you talking about what you hate and what the problem is out there, but what is it, what's true for you? Because you're not even revealing yourself, right? You can talk about how delusional and stupid and ugly and fat and bitchy and ridiculous and stupid someone else is, and that's just horrible, hideous karma coming back to you. One, I don't even know why you'd waste your time doing that. You don't want the smoke, because you don't know people's spiritual rank. You don't know who your tongue is coming up against. So be careful, okay? Because when you drop dead and you have a stroke and you don't understand why, you don't even have time to understand why, you're gonna be fucking dead. It's because you came against some fucking powerful ass niggas that are actually trying to restore the balance of the fucking universe right now. Through their soul's incarnation. These are kings and queens and royalty and fucking gods and shit coming back down. Believe it or not. 2020 is a year of harmonic convergence. 2015, a year of harmonic convergence. 1987, a year of harmonic convergence. There's a lot of these harmonic convergences where like batches of souls are coming back to fucking clear and ascend the consciousness, right? And so again, if you girls keep fucking playing the stupid game and thinking that we're all just useless, scrappable lives, like if you actually think anything is worth discarding, we got another thing coming. We need to take you back to kindergarten. They need to teach you about fucking recycling. They need to teach you how everything gets used on this planet, okay? You go back to the earth and everything will get recycled. So if you think it's any other way, you're a fucking lunatic. So, I'm on my kitty shit. I'm on my kitty shit. Whatever. So, that's kind of the frequency there. Let's see what's causing the energy. I love it. I'm loving the vibes. Woski. Woski. I think this is so beautiful. Okay, so we've got crossing these two frequencies. Justice, 7 of Cups, the fucking 8 of Wands. This is basically whether you're going to be feeling apocalypse or rapture frequencies, right? Rapture meaning like pure euphoria. Like we've been enraptured by this new world frequency, right? It's all about karma though. Your karma right now is going to decide what you're fucking experiencing. This is the projector. This is the person who surrendered the ego and is like, there's nothing to project about. I'm in the boat with all these bitches. We all need the same shit from spirit. Do you see the difference in consciousness? Some people don't get help from spirit while others do get picked up from spirit. This is false. This is a false paradigm. This is a spiritual initiation. You get initiated through the 5 of Swords, because what you learn through the 5 of Swords is you needed to choose and clarify your truth. You didn't have to worry about fighting other niggas. You needed to get stronger in your truth, and you'll be spiritually protected. You won't even be in a situation like this, right? Because you just need to worry about you. You don't need to be trying to carry all these niggas' swords. You just need to worry about you, right? because I always told you guys about samurais, right? Samurais are scary ass motherfuckers, okay? You don't want to be, because every samurai that's like out is like the greatest samurai that's ever lived, right? Because they've never lost. Samurai, it's like, that's like a fucking profession, right? It's like it's a profession where it's like your odds, you're gambling, bitch. Because you lose a battle, you're dead. Like, losing a battle as a samurai would mean you've been murdered. You've been stabbed. You get what I'm saying? So that's the sword suit. So it's not a fucking joke ski. But these people are different because they acknowledge it doesn't matter what fucking side of the pond we come from. There's unity consciousness under this. Can I tap into depression? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bitches are like fake crying, like, oh my god, I just like can't believe. Or they talk about Juneteenth, like, I can't believe the government didn't recognize. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, just connect with your own family's history. Like, talk about like, we've all gone through the same oppression. Or if you don't want to talk about this lifetime, you also lived a million lifetimes. Just go, like, Ken, do some fucking ayahuasca and tap in, bro. Do some fucking DMT and tap in. Like, there's nothing to do but learn the book of you. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. Because rapture or apocalypse, you know? Fucking up to you. But it's coming. It's coming. JT coming, okay, right? Because, right, the Holy Trinity, right? Are you in union with yourself and Source, right? Three of Pentacles, right? I don't know, up to you. Let's see. Ooh, beautiful, 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 beautiful. This is what I'm saying. This is literally what's coming out right now. It's like High Priestess, Queen of Swords. That's kind of the frequency right now, right? Like, right now I am expressing my truth. Like, the only way that I could support us through this time where there are a lot of collective conversations going on to avoid, right? Because everybody doesn't want to look ignorant. That's why you bitches, like, we can see through your fucking morality so clearly, because it's literally like the base of, again, I'm going to do something very simple. I've already said this in a literary way, but I'm going to say it very simply. The truth is the why. So I don't want you to tell me what you did, because that's not the truth. I want you to tell me why you did it. That's the truth. So when some of you are talking about the current events that obviously you got fed by whatever the fuck shit you're addicted to, probably the fucking media, and we can also see what kinds of media you're addicted to, because you're not addicted to tea stew if you're here talking like a dumb bitch and you're fucking big back and fucking eating animals and fucking being crazy. But it's the why, right? So why am I talking about what I'm talking to you about right now? Why would you be bringing up a political issue right now? Why would you be starting an argument with someone right now, right? A lot of people can't answer that. A lot of people won't answer that. A lot of fraudulent demonic frequencies that have taken over people's vessels cannot stand in the vulnerability of, like, why are you doing what you're doing? You can also end anybody who's trying to go back and forth with you, it's just at this time trying to drag you into war frequencies, by simply asking them, why are you bringing this to me? Why me? Why are you, can you tell me why you're doing what you're doing? And if it's the promise you, these bitches, it's gonna be so embarrassing. It's like, you can fucking blow somebody over right now. Some of these bitches are loud megaphones, because this truth, you gotta be a queen. So you get what I'm saying? You're High Priestess, you're psychic, this is intuitive and spiritual coming to fucking rock you. Because I told you girls, it's not about even you. Like I told you girls, I was like, the fucking sucky part is that, like, you guys might want to start caring about who's fucking getting buff spiritually in the gym, because they're about to lap you, and that's the time right now. Because nobody saw me as a threat. I'm gonna tell you right now, nobody saw me coming. JT coming? Okay, anyways, nobody fucking saw me coming, right? But why didn't they see me coming? Because I went within, and now the spiritual authority's coming out, right? So my method was like, there's nothing to do, bitch. I'm gonna fucking go within and just, like, fucking read up. Let's fucking start learning. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some higher education. You get what I'm saying? And so I started doing that. Now I'm over here yielding towards, and people are like, damn, what the fuck, ski? Damn, why is she so fucking lit? What the fucky? Why is she so strong? What the fucky? Yeah, why? I didn't do it how you girls did it. I did it how I did it. Simple. Recent past. The Fool, clarified by the Five of Pentacles, right? The initiation, the breaking of the old world, the collapsing, the getting locked out of your shit. That'll fucking start you on a fucking fool's journey, no problem. Matter of fact, I had to piss so bad, I'm gonna take a pee. Enjoy. Nothing. Enjoy the silence. Reflect on what I just fucking said. I'm gonna pee. Oh my god, I'm about to fall. Did you see me? I'd be crazy, like, I'm fucking ridiculous right now. And I'm just like, damn, what?
But damn, yeah,
I mean, it's not even like, it's just like, it's already spotty. I'm like, what the fuck? It's just like on a different cycle right now.
Yeah, I feel like you just started.
I think it was like the 10th or the 11th, so it's like what I was expecting, but it's a fucking like whatever day it is. It's like we're still in the single digits.
The 5th, 3rd, 4th, yeah, 5th.
Whatever. Okay. Thanks for telling y'all. Another great news. I'm not pregnant, hoes. I would never be pregnant because I never intend for it, but just maybe something to rub in. Just like, I don't got a child like you bitch ass niggas. Yeah, because anyways. Okay. This womb will stay liberated as long as I fucking this lifetime. I can't, not during this astrology. I can't. I get too freaked out. It's hard enough. Like, I'm so closed off sometimes because when I love, I represent death. Like, niggas dying, damn. It's like, you know, it's hard for me. So the more people I love, I always think about how this will end one day. And I'm like, oh, God. So, I don't know if I would do too well with, like, the kids, because, God, the way you feel about kids is like, oh, my God, it's so unconditional. I couldn't do it. Like, and then you have, like, no control. I couldn't do it. I was just like, fuck no. Ooh, God. I can't do any of the sort. I can't, no. So, blessings to all of you bitches that are obviously God's strongest, because I'm not that. But anyways, I'll just take the fucking dick down and I'll fucking leave the babies. Okay, so anyways, yeah, no, who needs who? You don't need more than me. I'm the 101. You know what I mean? We don't need genetic fucking duplications. Who cares? Alright. Anyways, back to the fucking recent past. The Fool, right? This sort of fucking shakeup, this feeling like you're locked out of it, like literally, like, again, like the door is closed, like, also could just be being, like, again, the betrayal, like the fucking, like, I kind of wanted to almost say, like, in the recent past, it was like giving the frequency of, like, feeling like things that, this is kind of the ego, right? Aries, like, it has to be, it initiates you to think about yourself. Yeah. Throat chakra activation, wow. It's like a crazy tickle in my throat. But it's like the creations of the past, the religious structures of the past, right? You were getting initiated that it's all gonna, you're gonna have to, it's like, I know you could fight to feel left out of it, but the best thing to do is just like move forward in the new start, because this is like Saturn and Aries, Neptune and Aries. This is like, it's a new assignment though. You're gonna have to leave the religious ways, the identification, like, again, and that's kind of what me and Dennis were having a conversation about. Is like, I was in the shower, the downloads that I was getting from the water were just like, you know, everything is collapsing. It's not just bad systems that are collapsing. Everything, because everything is really either a derivative of like separation consciousness or unity consciousness. So because the 5th dimension, which is what the new earth is just unity consciousness and unconditional love frequencies, true unconditional authentic love frequencies, there is no separation. So that is the reason that the world had to separate, because on the 5th dimension, certain 3rd dimensional frequencies and vibrations are too low vibrational, too dense, right? Density, they're too dense and heavy to be in such a light frequency. So I think right now I really wanted to come on here and like really reiterate, like, you know, with a lot of like what's kind of going on right now, it's just a lot bigger than you think. I know you've been looking at your fucking TikTok psychics and whatever, and so, you know, it's always like, you know, maybe you'll glance at it or whatever, but I really can't stress to you enough, any educated person who studies the stars, like, will tell you this science is like, it's a crazy time. Like, expect like, whatever, right? Like, you know, like, it's kind of the thing that gave me peace. Like, when my mom evicted me, which was like such an anomaly experience, like, it gave me peace because I was like, this would be happening though. And I really was able to lean in and accept that I might be having to let go of her, because like, everything is resetting, because I've had mothers across a lot of lifetimes, you know what I'm saying? It's not just this, it's not the only mother I've ever had, you know? And so there's a lot of people who played certain roles. So it's like, when I have to like loosen up those things, it's like important for me to like remember, like, oh shit, like, yeah, this is a major overhaul though. So it might be that bitches that you were really fucking locked in, because again, that was the confinement. They didn't want you to be in your God body. They wanted you to get rid of your own God particle. I told you that was the real goal of colonization, was to actually destroy God matter, to actually do that, because they needed control, they needed labor, they needed to do their will, right? People who believe in separate consciousness think like, well, we have to make a plan for Earth, because they don't believe God is doing that, or that God is doing that by leaving us all here with the veil and whatever, right? So I think they play God, and then they're like, well, we have to make a fucking human, right? We have to make that prototype, when none of us are humans. The human experience is built into what we actually are. We're these giant fields, these giant auric fields that come with like an avatar, basically. And so that's kind of what an incarnation is, and that avatar can like move around, but it's not just to like pretty much like dice up the avatars, like literally like you bitches doing the fucking nip and tuck table, you know what I mean? That was never, that should never have gotten into your fucking psyche. So again, I do this work on behalf of y'all because you've all been robbed. We've all been fucking, we were robbed. We've all been robbed, you know, of our consciousness, of our sovereign ability to choose whether we lived in our God divinity, which is just so much bigger, more expansive, right? That's why when you really get into the mythology of any ancient civilization, it's like family structures are oriented the way that I'm showing you. The morning stars are going to be orchestrated. I got the grid. My ancient codes in me are coming back that are asking me to reassemble family structures through the divine, the way that the divine did. Like some of y'all read the fucking Bible, okay, like Abel and Cain, brothers being made from ribs and shit, and then like fucking brothers marrying sisters and then having wives, you know, it's like that would, because it was a bigger phenomena. And so when they pumped out this good and bad, right, when they pumped out that like good things and following our rules is good and you'll be rewarded for it, and then bad things you do will end in like it gives us our right to punish you. When we introduce that paradigm, kind of like how you bitches parent your children, you praise them and you fucking punish them when you should be neutral, right? Because you have no fucking jurisdiction over these motherfuckers. You really don't, you know what I mean? And so when we started introducing that into the collective, I'm talking just like in an ancient like conversation, that was the real issue, right? Like the real issue was always going to be that, like, you know, we actually think we're going to be punished for deviating from whatever the norm they set, which is why right now, as much as you think that some of the bitches that are freeing themselves to have free speech, like there's low vibrational people being like hateful and like whatever, but being hateful is not the problem. You can be hateful. In fact, I encourage you to be hateful. I hate a lot of you niggas, but the problem is a lot of you say you hate things that you actually love. Like, in fact, we're watching you give loving behavior, loving attention, and to certain things, but you're saying, I hate you, and that's why I'm doing this, which is not true. I can tell you love that. And so then that means you have a wound. That means someone reversed the roles for you. And so then you got to deal with the fucking self-love, because a lot of niggas don't want to tell people that someone raised them in the reversed roles and they're actually acting like a bitch instead of the nigga that they want to act like they are in the streets. Yeah, we can't talk about it. So all that to say, you know, let's look at what's fucking crowning our frequency. But I think in the recent past, like Saturn, all these major outer planets going into Aries, really does kind of signify that, you know? And I think the reason we know what we're supposed to be collaborating with at this time, like the reason like so many people are getting locked out, right? Like people who are locked out of the fifth dimension because they haven't done the ascension yet, is it's all about leading you to see like what, like the union, like coming into union with source. You can't get to the fifth dimension without being in union with God. You have to believe by the time, if you want to ascend, you have to actually be someone that's grounded and says like, source is, I'm connected to source. God has always been providing for me. Even though I go around and tell everybody I was victimized or I was so alone and all my friends left me, bitch, God was staring at you like, I'm right here, ho. And you want to know why those bitches left you? Because I told you to never pick them up. And actually, if you would have fucking just released them, you would see your life was never about even the fucking fraudulent little relationships you had with these niggas. That's why as soon as the scariest thing you do, like when I let my mom go, oh my God, it was the biggest and most liberating thing I could have done, because I really didn't realize how subconsciously I really did attribute. She was like raising me to attribute all of my success to her. Like everything I thought I did, like I was just raised to be like, you know how black people are fucking being fucking chattel slavery? They like, you know, the mammy dynamic, right? Like Aunt Jemima type frequencies where it's like the black mother or the black woman was just like became the mammy to the masses kids and to their own fucking kids that they got, that they also have. And they're like pretty much black women like historically nurturing everybody. So like a lot of us feel like we can't really hold critiques of like our black mothers or grandmothers or aunts or whatever, because we also feel like, oh, my grandmama, man, like she, you know, all that shit, bro. Like anybody that's like blood related to me in this lifetime that I fuck with, I just fuck with them independently. I don't really have too many feelings, you know. People can judge me, but like, you know, first of all, I hang out with more elderly, like bitch, I hang out with more elderly motherfuckers than most people would even believe. I prefer to be hanging out with people who are in their golden years, truly, I really do, because I can't stand you young bitch. I can't stand you fucking under 50 ass bitches. Like you bitches get on my nerves. You have no perspective, you know? And you're broke. You know what I mean? I'm trying to hang out with the niggas who have something. I'm just kidding, no. But you know, for me, like I think some people might be like, what? Like I don't really like, you know, like people like, you don't freak out, like you don't call your grandma, like no, I don't call these niggas. What? No, I don't think of, like, again, all that shit is programming. There's, you know what I mean? Because you've done this before. This isn't the only life. This isn't it's not even necessarily, it's not even like the most important thing. The most important thing for you to do is make sure that you're up to date and up to speed on what the learning of this life really is supposed to be. so that you can get out of it so you can like move forward to like new, you know? So if it's got to be revisiting karmic past, you know, past life lovers, if it's got, like, invite it, be excited. Like I said, like, the first thing that I'm worried about is my liberation. The most important thing for me is that, like, I can anticipate that, but I'm calm, I'm grounded, I have a standard, you know what I mean? Like, I use science to back up what I deeply commit to. I don't just give my shit to everybody, because it's not everybody to give. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, this life for me is like very specific, and so I don't feel the need to fucking pander to the streets. I'm pandering to who's for me. Like, you see how I go hard here? Like, I'm talking to an audience. I am, but it doesn't need to be an audience of even 10 people. It literally is just the people that I'm literally like aligned to, that this is for, and that's why I do this. That's it. And I always say this. I'm like I said, the second I get the fucking bitches, once I know, like, oh, the bitches that I needed out of this are here, I'm like, okay, well, good. We don't have to even fucking talk anymore. I see y'all. And I mean, I don't need to be on the general public shit, because again, that general shit is what's here to talk about it. So it's just the two frequencies, because this is the niggas who are locked out of, and that's the other thing that I try to tell y'all. The other thing, it's not just that the third dimension is collapsing at this time. The other thing is, I think the thing that's going to suck even more is that you're going to realize, I think the people who chose not to ascend were people who didn't believe in the fifth dimension. Like, they didn't believe there was a new earth. And that makes sense, because it wasn't just there. We had to create it through ourselves, right? Mother Earth had to rebirth herself. And so we had to regenerate. It was a very scorpionic process that we're going through at this time. And so a lot of people, because that's how you guys treat Scorpios, right? You don't fucking believe them. They're telling the truth, right? You don't fucking believe what they're fucking on, or why they're like what they're like. You know, so a lot of people, what I feel like the other crowning thing is, like, there's a lot of people that are going to be stuck in the old world collapsing. And, you know, as shitty as being in an apocalypse timeline right now, with all this fear mongering grouped in with like the worst, darkest demons, because at this time, like, also, like, you're gonna be grouped in with actually like nefarious people too. If you're just like ruled by fear, you're gonna also be with the people who like act on fear, right? So those could be demons, those could be like nefarious individuals, you know what I mean? It could be any type of fucking frequency like that. So I think the thing that's gonna suck when you guys all get into the gates of fucking hell on earth is that you're gonna actually be like watching the 5D. Like, I think it's like, this is also like, oh shit, like, this is that feeling of locked out of heaven that you dumb fucking Christian motherfuckers have been fucking speaking over everybody. Like, you're about to feel, like I said, and I just feel bad, because like sometimes I criticize, but I have empathy, because really, even dumbass motherfuckers who become megaphones for stupid, unadjudicated fucking information, like stuff that they haven't vetted out, they don't fucking, you know, bitches don't read fucking books. I don't know. It's like, I feel bad, because even fucking idiots are just being taken advantage of, because no one's actually just an idiot, you know? So it's just like, I try to just talk about the bigger problem, which is like, we really need to just, the only way to combat where we're at right now is self-actualization. Like, you have to do something. You have to move your energy. You have to make a different choice. I told you guys, July, just choose anything different. Because at this point you have already done all the other options. You know, all the other options that you always consistently always go to, whatever's complacent for you, whatever's easy for you, like, already done it. Like, you've really slayed it. You slayed the boots down. So there isn't really anything, because now if you choose the same thing that you've done before, you're going to get the same result. And you know that now. Whatever the result is, I'm not here to whatever, but you're going to get the same result. So there is this awareness that I told you guys. I was like, you know, it's not just about like how slow and procrastination station you've become. Just realize, when you choose to procrastinate, you don't know who's in the gym shooting. You don't know who's over here transforming behind the scenes. And I think when those people come forward, you're going to be all in your fucking feelings, like a fucking Five of Pentacles, feeling like a sorry Brokeback Mountain, because you were over here not thinking that other people like also can wake up. This is where like the Age of Pisces was my least favorite thing in the fucking world to live in, because at the same time too, like, there's like, people actually like believe that, like, they basically like, let's do the caste system. Like, there are actually humans that have lesser value. Like, if you actually like think that, like, if you actually like, a lot of y'all might be surprised. Like, a lot of people are like, a lot of people, even people that I consider like best friends, would be like really surprised to see how I'm rising at this time. You know, how I don't give a fuck at this time. How fucking beautiful, and at way beyond anything I've surpassed. Like, my fucking beauty is ancient right now. My soul is fucking on its ancient shit right now, right? And they'd be really surprised by that. But it's because a lot of you you're in a narcissistic one-dimensional paradigm where you actually can't hold any experience outside of yourself. So I think that's what I'm just saying. There's like a big feeling of, oh shit. You might feel a whole nother wave when you realize like people did like, and this is another like message that I know my guys are gonna love to hear. These fucking ops that you just fucking had the fucking what the fuck moment with, that you just realized, you know, fuck you type of shit. These guys, remember that message where I said like, you're about to rebound with your destiny? That's exactly what this is. Like, I don't think that I think they also thought you were, that's what I'm saying, they thought you were a bitch and a snitch and a witch and a bunch of shit. Like, it's like, it sucks because it's like, whoa, you also thought I wasn't capable of planting multiple seeds while dealing with your ass? That's crazy, because some of the stuff that you're about to like claim now that was like really a part of like, dude, this is a part of my fucking kundalini rising. Like, I gotta have this. I'm gonna express this passionate. I'm gunning for this. It's Aries energy, bro. I'm fucking, my fire is raging. Like, when they see your fire rage towards what is on your destiny, I think they're gonna be in their feelings and be like, damn, you was doing, and that's what they deserve. That's what they deserve, because they thought you weren't. They thought, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so narcissistic. Like, you don't think people have like more than one thing going on? Like, and you're fucking with people. You're fucking with whole humans. It's like, it's sickness. Ah, God, I hate it. I hate it. I'm so glad we're getting out of it. So anyways, let's keep moving forward. That's just know that. Just know that oh, shit ski. Okay, did I tell you how my fucking hand magic is getting so just beautifully good? It's exactly what I just said. The bitches that are in hell that did the bitches that the one, you know the guys that you just had to fucking be like, oh, you're nothing to me. I fucking hate you, you fucking liar, you fucking fraud, you fucking bitch, and you know, whatever. You went within and you started following that flame, that fucking passionate, like, okay, but this shit is always there. And they while they're over here bumping dicks, they didn't know that that's what I'm saying. It's like the way that you're so good off the old world is because like these bitches really, they show how little value they actually think you have. They show how fucking delusional they actually are, because it's like you have all this shit, all this royalty, all this evidence, even in an old world, of your value that they can't decide on or take away from you, and they still chose to treat you like you didn't have that. You know, they still chose to be like, what you have isn't hard to get. Oh, it's not hard to get, and that's why you're over here asking me for it? That's why you had to come through me to get it? Trust me, I've been through my womb, bitch. I'm the 11th house queen. There's nobody who had more friends than me, bitch. I had like 1,000 friends. I'm not even kidding. I was the bitch who's like, I do know all 3,000 of these motherfuckers on my fucking Instagram. Yeah, I actually do. Yeah, I really did. I know a lot of motherfucking people. A lot of motherfucking people. You're not going to be an Aquarius stellium if you don't know a fuck ton of people. So, yeah. And I used to deal with it all the time, right? Like, bitches would fucking try to undermine me and try to act like they could do the shit I do. And I'd watch them fucking make a fucking shit stain out of themselves trying to swap my destiny. And I was like, baby, what are you doing? Baby, what are you doing? And then it just explodes. I was like, so you don't think this takes any fucking effort? You don't. Bitch ass bitch. Anyways, this is what I just said. In the near future, the way you pop out with the victory with your new slime is ugly. They deserve it. They do. Fuck these guys. Because you just carried your truth. You're about to fucking Knight of Swords and be like, anyways, why did this, it's like I said, they're the sugar in your gas tank that you had to fucking siphon out so you could actually get the fuck on the fucking road ski. And so that's why I said, the wheel always turns. If someone thought like, especially with these bully frequencies, a bully is a bitch. A bully is an insecure ass motherfucker. We all know that. They're talking about themselves, right? So anybody who's like, was bullying you truly, first of all, they're bumping dicks. First of all, like I said, it's a lot of these gay ass motherfuckers who have a hard time with that. They have a hard time that that's what they are. Be what you are, bitch. That's what I'm saying. This fucking Matrix fucked y'all up because we were all fluid. There was never, you know what I'm saying? Like, have you seen you know anything about any indigenous community anywhere? It's like there were no gender roles like we have. African civilization, Egyptian civilization, even fucking Turtle Island that we're standing on right now, bruv. My indigenous slimes are fucking wearing dresses, skirts, whatever, bro. It wasn't even like any fucking, none of this metrosexual bullshit, right? I think these niggas have been wearing basketball shorts and t-shirts for too long, bro. I think you need to fucking hang up the jersey, actually fuck you. That's how I feel, bro. Because most of these motherfuckers' sense of identity and their sense of masculinity actually comes from the fact that they're still a high-paid slave. Let's talk about the fucking professional sports. Okay, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. But anyways, yeah, they're about to see you pop out. Because this is like, look at this. Ha ha ha. This is like someone who bully, who like, they're all like, ah, and they like make you go away. And then you're like, God already had my back so bad that like, I'm already just gonna go within. And it's like, I already have like hella success. I'm bigger than you. Right? Because the only people that can attack your birthright know that they're wasting it. It's not about saying that someone has more value than someone else, but it's about, if you're in my camp, and all you can do is spend your time critiquing what I'm doing, then we know exactly the value of the shit you have in your camp. And that's all I tried to tell my mom when she wanted to try to say this shit. Like, she tried to come for me and be like, you're fucking a horrible fucking wife, all this fucking bullshit. Me, a horrible fucking wife. I was like, bitch, if you knew how fucking devoted I am to that motherfucker, everybody's probably like, let's shut the fuck up on the internet about this nigga. Like, everything's like, bitch, you can try it. You can try to fucking spread the propaganda about me. But you're always talking about my fucking marriage because you don't have one. Oh, God. I can't stand these bitches. I can't stand these bitches. And I know you can't either. That's why we're like, do-do-do-do. Like, you know what the Addams family was doing when they was snapping? Dropping niggas down to the ground. Like, niggas were getting smited. Niggas were dying as soon as the fingers snapped. That's what I'm on right now. I actually think a couple of people need to die. I'm actually going to send you to the next lifetime. That's my frequency. Come fuck with me. I'm about to send you to the next life. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that, actually. Because what? Because you don't even want this one anymore. Like, at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do God's will. These niggas don't want this life anymore. Let's wrap that up, actually. You want it, because what are you going to do? Shit, stay in the lagoon, take up the free water. There's niggas who are fighting for their life, and you don't even want yours because you're a fucking loser. Let's get you out of here. Go ahead and kill yourself. That's why I said Aquarius is like, kill yourself, bro. Do it. Actually, I'm in support of that. Because if you don't know what the fuck you're doing here, and you're not going to choose to grow, and you're just going to fucking keep floundering and being a bitch-ass nigga in the fucking cog in the fucking wheel, crab in the fucking barrel, whatever the fuck you want to call it, Aquarius is like, just go. Just go. What is it about? That's what I'm saying, y'all. This reading is like, what is it about for you? What is it about for you, Ski? You know? Because, oh my God. This is so amazing, bruv. Right? This is reminding me of fucking Sinners last night. It's a horrible movie name, mind you. I can't really talk shit, but it's like, it just doesn't roll. It doesn't. Again, I don't know why they named it that because there's a lot they didn't flesh out. It's whatever. And that's what happens when you do this fucking racist bullshit where we like hand pick which nigger makes it up the fucking ladder, because that director didn't need to be. He's like he like made so much. Apparently, like whatever. And I'm homeless right now. Yeah, just Michael B. Jordan. Just duplicate Michael B. Jordan. He's giving a soft ass shit. He didn't even fucking act in that. This nigga, I don't even know what the fuck he's in that shit. Whatever, bro. So I don't even watch. I don't. You know, you guys. I don't really watch y'all shit like that. I really don't. I don't be watching y'all shit. But anyways, but that's what I was getting with Sinners was like, okay, so you know the whole premise in the movie, not in the movie. This is like vampire lore. Vampires like can't enter into your place without permission, right? So in the movie, there's always like vampires being like, can we come in? Like if you don't know, you wouldn't know a vampire's a vampire unless like obviously like they're like dripping blood or like they look fucked up or something. But this is like, you know, and so I feel like the current disposition is like, this spirit just was showing me how like you might be mistrustful because someone is going to come up to, because you're at your boundary right now. But I do want to give a PSA. There is a Knight of Pentacles that's like coming up to you, and they don't mean no types of emotional, no harm. They don't. They're actually the investment that was always coming to you. So I just want to also be sure to get this out there. It's like, do not also forget that like if they've taken that much from you and they've caused just that much, just like fucking spin out reverberation, like tower moments and shit in your life and wasted time, you know, you deserve this. You like deserve this to come in and for you to not be guarded towards it. You get what I'm saying? You don't need to treat the Knight of Pentacles like he's a vampire trying to get in your house, into your club and like murder everybody in there. You know what I mean? You don't have to be like, no nigga, like that's how these niggas are acting in that movie. Like, don't let this motherfucker in the door. Like, you know, type shit. Like, I don't want you to be like that because this Knight of Pentacles is a good guy. You know, non-gendered, of course, but he's a good dude. Like, in fact, this is you. This is an aspect of you that's like arriving for you. Oh my God. Do you see how Monty's literally doing the message? Don't do like Monty right now. Don't be at the door like, vampire at the door. It's not a vampire at the door. It's not a vampire at the door. It's not a vampire at the door.
It's like fucking sarcasm or some shit.
It's not a vampire at the door. It's your Knight of Pentacles. That's what I want to say. That's like what I want to say. It's not. That's why I do this work to heal us, because I know it sucks. Like I know right now we're all in the Knight of Wands. Like, look at me, I'm going off. I've been going off for 58 minutes. Like fuck ass bitch. Like, because I'm like still upset about stuff, you know. But I don't need to. Right. Because there are because there are active towers falling. You know what I'm saying? And this is like your evacuation plan. Like for my team, we had the towers falling. This person had an evacuation plan, and this is an energy that's just like really stable, right? Like so I would be giving Knight of Pentacles to all of you. I told you 3-4 years ago, this is all gonna collapse. Hello, collapse. Okay. So then not only collapse, but new water. God like floods, right? God is flooding the earth with new water that needs to happen. It means some shit's gonna have to go underground. Some grids are super low. It means the earth's surface is gonna change. Because it's time to, right? So, but I told you that was all going to happen. But I'm here. I'm your stability right now. I'm not a vampire at your door. I'm not. I am. Tethered Studios is just trying to make sure you can stay stabilized, because I knew you were going to have to evacuate. Whether you volunteered or not, for the ascension purposes, when the towers fall, you have to have an evacuation plan. You gotta, word to the Hierophant, our first record, you gotta, I told you about the lyrics I wrote, you gotta grab your soul, it's time to go, I'm right here. That's me right now. Knight of Pentacles, not a vampire at your door. I was, and I know, like I told you, like last night, I was kind of talking about how I think I give like a freaky vibe, because like what I do here is like pretty like educational. Like in this iteration of the art, not all of my shit on here is just like spirit messages either. But when I do like the spirit message shit, it's like, it is very educational, and it can kind of come off as like stoic, and like this person's like really hard to like, approach, kind of like what, like, type of frequency. So I can see where it might be like, is she like a wit, like, are you like, I think people needed to know, like, are you abusing magic? Like, are you doing something to me? Because I think a lot of times when people feel strong feelings for me and they don't like know me personally or something, like if I elicit that, I always try to like, hey, no. The reason your nervous system is going crazy, like when you see me or you talk to me or deal with me, is I'm literally a child of Uranus. Like my energy is like a lightning strike. That's why I be doing this to people. Every time I meet somebody, so I don't be fucking with people. Like I had to pull myself back, because like people will get transfixed. Like I can't even make like casual friends. That's why they all end up being in my life for like 16, fucking 30, 20 years. It doesn't matter. They end up in my life for way too long. Because when I come, I like, it's like, I like kind of blow up a previous consciousness. And so, I gotta be a lot more discerning, because I don't want to put people through that, because I don't want to be putting people who don't need to be put, like, that's why I can't really make a lot of like affiliates or like loose connections in this lifetime, just because like my energy is very intense. And so if I don't actually like curate like what it is that I'm doing, it can get kind of sticky, in terms of like, yeah. So all of that to say, the towers are coming down, and they're Tethered Studios, or just in general, all of you need to know that just because the tower is coming down, don't not open the door for the Knight of Pentacles, because he's coming right in, non-gendered of course, because they know you're evacuating from towers that have had to fall down, right? And another big thing that is happening at this time is so many of you are from lineages of like warlocks, magic people, shamans, healers, mystics, esoteric individuals, just healers, like medicine people, right? Herbalists, like these people, many of you come from lineages of that. And because we were all in the slama, like I kind of was just talking about that, how people really fear me. The big transition of the towers falling is that like they wanted us to fear this. So if you are also someone who's on the studio, you probably like resonate, because like a lot of what I do is help you feel really comfortable with like aspects of magic that you probably suppressed, because that was me. Okay, like I said, like I didn't have the resources to just talk about my psychic abilities in certain ways that didn't been towards a religion, or even like pre-existing spirituality that was like passed down in certain ways. Like I really wanted to like define my shit myself, but I didn't really have, like, I was really terrified of being psychic my whole life, because my visions would be like, obviously like the scariest thing for me is like, I'm also not just a psychic, but like my psyche's very dark. I'm like I told you guys, I'm not someone of the light. Like you're seeing me in my lover girl era, but I'm not like of the light. Like love lightens me up, but I'm like pretty dark natured in terms of like what my genetic matter was given. And so, having a death energy and being dark natured means that like when I get psychic premonitions, like when I was younger, especially before I was also like lighter in my density, I used to have like a lot of dark visions, and so I used to be freaked out, because I didn't think I'd ever be able to like use my psychic abilities, because all I used to be able to see was like the negative outcomes that were happening, like the destruction and death and violence, and so I feel like as long as you were scared of your magicianship, right, as long as you were one of us, you're one of the team that's been like locked away, or has been like burned at the stake, or has been like, repressed or feared greatly for your magic ability, because people get scared when you can do things. Like people don't want to feel out of control, and they hate it when they see, right? Why do you think people like certain like celebrities or artists get so much pushback sometimes, especially like big ones? Because some people don't really like how much control. If you're a Swiftie, a lot of Swifties love it. They're like, we love that Taylor's like uses her magic and like makes us feel how she makes us feel, right? Though that's a great demographic of fucking fan base that like really loves that magic that she obviously like affects in them. They really submit themselves to it. But there are plenty of other people who it's like, it's not so, like some people aren't super comfortable with the way that like the person that the artist like makes them feel, so then they might get more like flack. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of people who don't like to be powerless might like fight back against it. So I feel like that's what I was getting. It's like, but the reason you have to face this and own up to this and find like groups like Tethered Studios or like places where like magic is like normalized is because some of you have like past like love that is about magic. Like you're meant to come into partnerships that are about magic. But if you're still like running from your truth about being someone who's a part of the community, then you're never going to come into the partnership. And so if you're thinking you're meant to have like a regular partnership and you're meant to like have a black magic woman, and you'll never know. But yeah, it's time. This is like a call. I just heard somebody was to call you. I'm pulling up. It's like, it's unexpected. I feel like this judgment energy is unexpected. I mean, obviously this reading has a lot to do about Judgment Day. It has to do with the like splitting of the worlds. I feel like that's kind of like what the frequency is right now, judgment. But it's kind of funny that I felt that. It was like, it's also like not even just like an unexpected call. It's like unexpected showing up. It's like, because all this stuff is collapsed, because you have to believe in the power of this, because also for me, like, you guys know I'm psychic. I also do know, I don't know them personally, but like a lot of you have, like the people that I have reached out to, like, and my efforts were because I was getting psychically like, Alexis, whether you believe it or not, this person you need to connect with. And I won't know deeper, and it doesn't mean that I know them. I'm not going to go up to you and act like I know you, but I am bold enough and confident enough to be like, hey, like, I just got to let you know something. Like, there's an upcoming cycle that we're going to have together, and I just want to like make sure you're ready for that. So when I would be doing that, it had to, it had so much to do with like following divine guidance, and people can, but I can't wake anyone up for them. So I can't push super hard. And I try not to take it super personally, like when people don't understand like what my intentions really are when I approach them, because I'm a scary motherfucker. Like I said, I'm like of the darkness, like in like real time. Like, I mean, I'm sure you know this, like my energy's a little like, she's a little, whatever. And so I just feel like this judgment card is like someone's finally ready to make the judgment call on it. You know what I mean? To start that page of cards. Like, it's a new thing. It's a, they've got their value in their hand or whatever, but I feel like it wasn't going to be able to be, it was always kind of like a time and a place. Like, it was always going to be like, we have to wait for Judgment Day though, because that's going to be after all the shit collapses and the floods come and the shit's resurfaced. Then like this was always supposed to start now. So another big message is like this connection, this Three of Pentacles assembling, right? This holy trinity within yourself. Your divine masculine and feminine within you being in union with God. That's the holy trinity, right? So if my divine feminine, my divine masculine, and my spirit are all simpatico and all agreeing, because it's not just like my divine feminine and divine masculine want to come together and fuck all night. It's also that like we want to fuck and like receive higher guidance. We want to have tantra, right? It's like that. If you're in that holy trinity, then now when Judgment Day strikes, now you're actually able to move forward. Another big download that I was getting is like, I had to surrender my ego so much, because my ego like will tell me like, I know when I'm going to be doing stuff, and I know how this is going to go. And it's really important for especially your spiritual practitioners to like not get too in their ego either, about like being so sure that they know how the fuck things are gonna play out. Because I know what it is, but I have to release time, density, and like I have to be, there's a lot of general, you have to open it up with the messaging. And so I feel like, Judgment Day always comes to remind people who the source is, right? All of us equally is like, it doesn't matter what the judgment is on your life and how you meet Judgment Day. It's just Judgment Day, we all can agree something higher than us is doing this, right? Because so many people in practice really live in separate consciousness. But how can you live in separate consciousness when it's like raining outside? We don't control the fucking, what? There's a bigger entity. It's like the rain is just not a person. I think so many people just like rely on humans for fucking everything. And it's just like there's so many phenomena that happen, like gravity. There's like nothing to do with people, And so some of you guys not believing in a higher offset consciousness is like crazy, because it's like, what? There's something to believe in, bruv. Just nature. That's I don't push any shit, bro. Just nature. Because yes, I want you to believe what I'm saying to you, but I also am like, you're fucking annoying if you're going to do fucking mental gymnastics to avoid what's in your face, Like, I'm very confident in this, like a beautiful, whole, healthy, wonderful, amazing, not hiding individual staring right in your fucking face right now. So fucking move from there. You don't have to fucking be a fucking anything. You don't have to do fucking any mental games. Like, it's what it is. I am what I am. I make you feel what I make you feel. So just deal with that. That's all we have to do. You know what I mean? And so I do just really feel like that's kind of the frequency with this judgment frequency, which is this like kind of Judgment Day is like the outcome of this. Is like the splitting of the world comes, and then there's the Judgment Day frequency. And so if you're in the fifth dimension, what happens for you on Judgment Day is like, okay, here's what the divine weighed your heart, right? The sort of Anubis, like, are we going to weigh your heart to see if it's light as a feather type frequency? Your shit was light as a feather. The judgment is you get everything you asked for, right? My phone is on right now. On Judgment Day, I can expect to get, oh shit, whatever. I can't even, really? You'd think I wasn't a fucking filmmaker. I can't even do this backwards. Whatever. My fucking Book of Blessings, right? This is literally me. I wrote this all fucking January. This is like, matter of fact, I was going to do this last night. Let's do a fucking Book of Blessings tour, shall we? Okay, right? If you want to open it up, look at this beautiful binder. There's just so much. It's just so much. Anyways, it's just, you know, we've got the operation hours. If you want it, we have all of this, bruv. We have so much. There's just so much. There's so much in this shit. There's just so much. You know, we even got fucking Shakespearean insults and compliments in this motherfucker. Anyways, we've got all of our everything's in here, bruv. It's like every fucking thing is there's so many contracts in here. There's so much shit. There's so much shit, bro. I have every flyer that we had from every fucking thing. You know, when Dennis does the Ascension collection, when I do the Consciousness Carnival, you know, the Lone Star Fate that we had in March, you know, fucking multiple flyers. I print all this shit in here so we save it. The fucking rave we had, you know, the fucking smoking pool party we had, the fucking Last Supper we had, like the gala that I hosted, you know. Here also this is what I was going to show you yesterday. Here's our master premiere schedule. So when you guys see me and Dennis sharing, like, okay, look, so we'll just go. It's like Friday, March 21st. Dennis has to make sure that he re-releases the Live from the Conjunction album. And this is like us signing off. And we've just been doing that, going down, you know. And then same for Tethered Studios. And so when you look at this, it's like, for example, like, what did we post today? I had to read today, July 5th, I had to share the video that was titled, A Message from Your Past Self. You're everything we knew you'd be. And I signed off on it type shit, right? If you want to see, like, here's our Supreme Protein, like, South by Southwest 2025 revival phases. Here's more Children of America tour itinerary. This is literally every day of my tour that I had planned out right here. This is all stuff that I give to my sponsors upon requesty. Multiple versions, all the printout. I made all this by hand, mind you guys. Mind you, I wrote every single thing. Leave Round Rocket, drive to Oklahoma. Like, it's like crazy. It's like so much. Like, it's hundreds and hundreds of pages. Fucking production pre-order, just like so much in here. The fucking employee earnings verification sheet, bro. Like, it's a lot of shit in here, bro. If you guys want to look at the tour, fucking day by day breakdown. I have a literal breakdown of the cost and the budget. I did all of this by fucking hand ski, bro. We got copies of fucking every fucking thing in this motherfucker. The Tethered Studios handbook is in here printed out. You know, tons of shit, bro. That shit's many pages. Like, I wrote all this shit by hand. Every grant I've ever applied for is in here, bro. Fuck these grants, though. They didn't give me shit. Fuck y'all. Anyways, but it's like, whatever, you know, the batshit crazy fucking flyer. Like, you know, fucking our fucking Weed is Information campaign, you know. My Love Bazaar 420 wedding out fucking planning time. It's like, there's so much, bro. When I was running my fucking vintage apparel fucking playbox shit, like, all this shit is in here. When every fucking press release I write is in here. So anyways, that's the shit that's in here and that I'm anticipating so many people will want. So that's one of the fucking mini books I'm excited to put out. But anyways, so we talk about all that shit. But yeah, so the kind of idea with judgment is, for if your heart gets weighed and it's light as a feather, you get everything, and it all comes at you fast. So part of me, like, losing my ego about the tour was just so that I could understand that there are parts of that I'm not in control of, and never needed to make like an identity out of, because the tour is just something I want to do out of pure like love and the need in America for it to be done. I told you guys this. I told you that America's gonna need this fucking tour right now. And so. But the beautiful thing down there that I was getting is like, Alexis, okay, all that heartbreak, all that crying, all that purge, and all this living on an air mattress, all this suffering, all this starving, all this shit. And guess what? On Judgment Day, I might be surprised that it's like, bro, easy sponsorship. Easy fucking $250, get your ass on the fucking road and go, bitch. And so, you know, I don't have to fucking cry, because it's like, oh, it was always going to be time, you know? Because it was a psychic download. Like, I did make that when I had to make that. I got the download to do this in Capricorn season of last year to really begin, you know, to do all of this work and compile this book so that we have it all in one book, like everything, like the whole point with like, and this is the first tour I've ever like planned, which is like another inner child dream that I gave myself. You know, I kind of talked about like working vintage being something, but also like doing a tour. And this is like a film / music tour, but it's not a live performance tour. So it's actually like a tour, a party tour actually. And we are producing a different type of deliverable. But it's a tour for like our musical group, which is awesome. But it doesn't involve like the conscious. So it's like a new world tour. So it's really cool, because I think that like the reason I wanted to turn it into a book was because like there's this big wave of how touring is going to take a completely new, if it even makes it into the new world, it would be completely different, and it'd probably be very similar to like what I put together here. And so I think it's just like a really good blueprint. It's like a good Bible for like how, you know, people should manage their tours into the new world. So Anyways, just more things. So for me, Judgment Day might be like, oh yeah, like you thought like, yeah, because I've already let it go. Like I really don't have any expectations. I'm not even like mad about my life right now. Like I feel like I can look at myself in this camera and feel like so much self-love and be like, well, I'm not off track. I'm like I pretty much am meeting every goal that I would have wanted to have like as just an individual person right now. Like I'm glad that I love myself, you know, and I'm glad that I'm like the people that I commit to, I'm still holding up my commitment to them, you know. I have a lot of space in my heart. I have space for, I don't want anybody scared. If you're supposed to be on my path, there's nothing to fear. Like their space is already there for you. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I just like, it's important for me to just like keep up the commitments that I have. And as long as I don't like, you know, like I'm not like letting people fucking down in terms of like, you know, Alexis, I need you to keep evolving and growing, you know, whatever, then I don't care. But that might be something that like Judgment Day really provides me in a way that I was like, oh, I didn't expect that. And I feel like the Judgment Day frequency has a lot to do with this cap full moon. Like this lunation cycle has a lot to do with kind of like the judgment coming out. And again, I think a lot of people feel that because if you're in the third dimension, this can also mean like your heart got weighed and you might be caught in the madness of it. So like some of us are going to get the ecstasy of life because we planned for it, we intended it, and we actually like cleared our heart chakra to have this set, because Seven of Cups can be drowning. It can be like actually overdosing. Like actually, like it's like Pisces at its worst, right? When you're like too fucked up, you know, it's overwhelming, right? And this would be the people who have no spiritual boundaries. So they're just taking in all of the world's suffering and just ignoring their own, right? Why would you get on the internet and let yourself talk about all the problems other people go through and then just depress your system? Like you haven't been traumatized. So many of you have been going through the same crazy shit that you think like, you don't have to pick one cause. There's not one problem going on in the earth right now that's the most important, right? It's not like the one war that's going on here in this region is the worst war we've ever seen. It's not. Like, you know, even the wars that we wage now are way higher vibrational than the way that wars used to be waged even like 500, 600 years ago, right? A lot less casualties, a lot less like, you know, you can't just get away. You know, back in the day, sorry to bring it back to Sinners, but like, you know, kind of they were really playing up that like back in the day, like you look at the nigga the wrong way, like we didn't know how to conflict her, so we just like pop you, like we'd be at the saloon and just shoot a nigga, like, you know what I mean? Like pow, like people just like lose their life, you know, type of shit. So I just feel like this Judgment Day frequency really gives that, where it's like, oh yeah, go for it. Perfect. So yeah, the Judgment Day frequency, now that the worlds are separating and then now things are collapsing, the judgment is even after the collapse. The judgment isn't like the bombs drop. The judgment is like once, because the cataclysmic shit, the fucking Big Bang, the whatever the fuck you're all fucking holding your breath for, that stuff is just the collapse. That's not even like what God's judgment of you is. God's judgment will be felt based on how open your heart chakra is, which is why do you think Tethered Studios is a love studio? Why? Because you have to, this shit, you could be someone who has a really beautiful soul call, but if your fucking heart chakra is clogged, I think a lot of you know that now. You realize that like, you know, part of the reason you weren't able to like embrace things that were for you was because your heart chakra didn't have space. So then you had to clear the space first. You know, you have to let go of the resentments and the blockages that are on your heart in order to like actually do this. It's another big reason spiritually why my dad had the stroke that he had, is like he was going into a spiritual call so fast, like so quickly, and it was crazy. But like I kind of, like I told you, I had to like go take a shower, like just not even for any real reason, just like to even tell this message, was just because like I have to clear out my energy to continue to start ascending and giving certain types of spiritual messaging. So I hope this was another good little chat ski. But yeah, I think when judgment comes, like there's going to be this weighing and this adjudication, and it happens spiritually after all the falling, the fucking flooding and the falling and the blah, 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 blah. After all the fucking shit detonates, that's when I think, you know, the spirit really pops out and really is like, all right, and here's what we thought about how you did. So just be prepared for that. But I think what I'm seeing is like a lot of you who thought you were going to have to get off, like lose everything you really wanted and that you weren't going to have anything. It's like, you're about to be really surprised. It's like, oh no, like judgment's like, yeah, you get it all. You get the ecstasy of life. Like you're welcome, you know? And so then you're really going to be really filled up, because all of this energy that you just went through, all the fucking hitting dicks and fucking fake bitches and the hellscape of that, you really realize like, oh, it's all good. It literally is just like that shit had to fall off. So it's going to help you really lighten your heart chakra as well. Because I know right now some of those relationships like could have taken up a lot of space. Some of those dynamic situations that have fallen or crumbled or like betrayed you or hurt you in some way did take up storage. But I think the storage is just, I wanted to end with this and be like, the storage is really going to be taken care of, because of the fact that this new beginning is going to really put into perspective that stuff is like not even just like small, but it's like stupid and not actually, it was just never even for you. It's like not even like anything it's not anything serious, you know? So I think that's going to be really beautiful to have that much divine assistance at this time. So yeah, I'm just going to keep coming on here talking, keep massaging it, because I think the most important thing with July, it kind of feels like it just needs to be like presence. Like July, like we just need to be in it. Like Cancer season definitely told me that. It's like, Alexis, don't be afraid to just feel your way through Cancer season. Like the now moment, don't be afraid to do that. So I really want to encourage myself to just be like, I'm just going to keep like talking through this. I don't even have to have some spiritual overview of this month, because I don't. I think this month has a lot to do with people's free will and people's heart spaces. So, because judgment and like justice energy, right? Like a lot of that weighing out and deciding what the fucking verdict is going to be. It's happening, so it's kind of not really a month where I can do what I did like last month, right? June, kind of tell you exactly what it's going to be. It's more like I have to like show up in the moment, and like when we look back in July, I think we'll see like how things progress. But anywho, Titties is getting grumpertons. I'm grumpy. I'm Titties the cat and I'm grumpy. Okay, but I love you guys. Another hour and 20 minutes. I'm getting fucking good at this hour and 20 minute shit. All right, have a really awesome July 5th. Peace out.